Hello everybody. Today I am bringing you this photo of my grandson making cookies, and I'm going to be using that paper pad which is called Peppermint Express. It's from American Crafts and it was from 2013. I've been really digging into my stash lately and trying to use up some old products, so this is one of those things that I'm doing. So I took that piece of paper which says Christmas Bingo on it, and I cut out the bingo card piece of it because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with that. Thought maybe I could use it as embellishment, or I wasn't sure. And then I'm going to take this brown polka dot piece of paper and I'm going to cut that down so that I have a border of the green paper on the outside. And when I was looking at this photo, it just made me think of that brown piece of paper, and I also thought about that pink star paper and really wanted to use the brown and pink together. And when I went through, and the pink star paper is from Ellie's Studio, but when I went through the paper pad, I just thought about those two things together and then saw that green and thought that that might be a nice third color. For some reason, the brown and pink made me think of Christmas cookies. I don't know why, but it just did. So then I also, when I was going through my things, remembered or saw this pink and white striped paper from Ellie's Studio. It's from the Good Cheer collection and is called Holiday Quilt, and that's the piece I end up using. I don't even end up using that pink paper, the pink star paper, at all, when that was one of the first things I thought of using. So I thought about using the green bingo paper as some sort of border, but that doesn't really work for me. And as I was looking at it, I realized there were a couple of squares that would make kind of cute embellishments. So the first one says "Tastes so good," and then the second one is a gingerbread man. And even though he's not making gingerbread cookies, that is a cookie, so that, like, you know, of course, totally makes sense. So I love the way I can use those squares as embellishment on this paper. Then I found that little word strip from Ellie's Studio from one of the cut-aparts that says baking cookies, and I thought that was like totally appropriate here, of course. And then I did try to use that tree, that acrylic tree, but it's not going to work in this particular layout. I also played with I know I like that Happy Holidays because I like the brown and the pink in it, so I'm going to try to use that. And then I pulled some journaling cards from an Ellie's Studio grab bag that I bought after Thanksgiving. And I'm going to end up, as I'm kind of just playing with how these things are going to be arranged, I'm not going to end up using that one that says today. I'll be using the other one. So I cut these, the Happy Holidays, apart just so it would fit a little bit better here. It was like there was too much room in it. Like it was too long. I think not too much room. It was too long and it was sticking out too much. So I'm kind of trying to figure out where I'm going to put these things. That one other cut apart that I was going to put at the top, I decided not to put up there. And I also grabbed my acrylic stars from 'Tis the Season. They're from the Frosted Acrylic Shapes from 'Tis the Season Ellie's Studio. I've got the green ones and the pink one there. And I like how that just brings a pop of that bright green out there. And then I found this little tree sticker on the same sheet that the Happy Holiday sticker comes from. And that is the American Crafts Peppermint Express accent and phrase stickers. So I'm using a lot of old product. I'm definitely using some new product in here as well, but I love that I'm using so much old paper. And even the pink stripe paper is a collection that's 2 years, let me think, 3 years old. Yeah, 3 collections ago for their Christmas collection. So that makes me very happy. Now I've decided that I really want to bring these pieces together, and the best way to do that is to use some ink on the edges of all of the pieces. So if you have a couple of different lines that you're using and things aren't blending together, or even if you're using the same line and they're not blending together, the easiest thing to do is to go through and add a little bit of ink to join, have them have one common element. That's the journaling card that I end up using from the Ellie Studio journaling card grab bag. And I did grab this sheet of stickers from Webster's Pages from the Gingerbread Village, just to kind of look at that. And I was thinking about maybe using some of those because there's some brown in there, and that is ages old as well. I think that's from 2013 or 2014. And I do end up using one piece from there. So now I've kind of got my basic idea down. And I added the stars in here because everything else was so flat that I really needed to add that element. I'm going to use the top of that little green block there so that the Happy Holidays has kind of a common element with the green block there. And then I'll tuck the Taste So Good square in behind the Happy Holidays. Now I didn't add ink to the Happy Holidays. I'm using Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Ink. The Happy Holidays sticker and that little tree sticker at the top are both shiny surfaced. And I was honestly too lazy to get my StazOn out, so I didn't. And I'm living a little dangerously here and just inking the edges of that pink paper. And it just really does help blend these pieces together. And I love the pop of color that the pink adds to the brown and the green as well. So this is really kind of a bright, fun layout. And I don't know why, but for some reason the pink and brown just remind me of baking. Kind of a weird thing that they do, but they do. All right, the other thing I did decide to do is instead of doing the baking cookies up on top, I grabbed that Merry Christmas cut apart there from Ellie Studio, and I'm going to put that up at the top on the right there. Eventually, there are things that I know where they're going to go, so if I know where they're going, then I'm putting them down as soon as I know that. And I think I'm watching something on my iPad, so that's what I'm doing when I'm reaching over there. All right. And I basically have my elements positioned here. Just getting these acrylic stars done, and I'm just gluing them down with the ATG. Even though you can kind of see through them, you can't see through them all that badly. I didn't pop a lot of my elements up here because the acrylic stars are so thick, so they're the other dimension there, and then I'm going to add some enamel dots as well, which will help with the texture too. Just kind of playing, you know, getting some of those stars scattered kind of evenly across. If I'd had one more star, I probably would have put it up where the tree is, but the tree is kind of holding that space of where another star might be. And then I was going to line it up with the edge of that brown paper, and then thought, oh no, let's put it up a little bit into the border for a little bit of unexpected. Now that star's open, and I just had to peel the ATG back from the open spaces. That's what I was doing there. And I do like how that Merry Christmas breaks out of it a little bit. There is a little bit of red around the Merry Christmas too, which that's the color that the Merry Christmas is in, so it echoes the little bit of red down in the Happy Holidays as well. Now I'm going to use this alpha, and this is a green foam alphabet from Dear Lizzie, and it's called Mary. it doesn't have a color. It's just the green one. I think there actually was a pink version of this alphabet, or red version of this alphabet as well. I don't know if that was called Mary or not, but I know that when this was out, and this goes back to, I think, Dear Lizzie's, one of her first collections was a Christmas collection. It wasn't her first, but it might have been her second or third collection ages ago. But I love this alphabet, and I think I have 3 of them, or I'm on my 3rd one. And I'm calling this title of this is child labor. And the reason it's child labor is when my daughter-in-law posted this photo of my grandson, I was joking with her about child labor, and she was laughing about that. So that's why I called it that. He's making peanut blossom. So one of his jobs was to put the kisses, the Hershey's Kisses, in the middle of the cookie when the cookies were done. And he loves to help in the kitchen. All right, so that is all done. Now I am looking at this and I'm wanting something else. The layout still feels a little bit flat to me with just the stars. So I grabbed my jar of homemade enamel dots. I made those from perler beads, and I found the dark brown ones that I had, and they kind of remind me of little chocolate chips, or in this case they remind me of the kiss in the middle of the Hershey's Kiss in the middle of the cookies. So it's like the perfect little embellishment for this particular layout, and then it gives just another little dimension or size to the layout. And it's, really fun trying to figure out where those are, where those all are. And I just keep them in an old Prima flower jar. All right, and then I'm going to take my micro glue dots here to glue these down. Now, one of the pains in the neck about this is they don't always stick so great to those little tiny ones. I really need this really small size versus the micro size. So sometimes they'll pop up and I have to put a second one down. I think I had to do that with a couple of these, especially like that one I know is one of them for sure, where it's going over 2 layers. They'll pop up on that. All right. I'm really loving just the, I love the green, brown, and pink together, and they just weren't colors that I would have thought would look good together. The pink and brown, yes, but just adding that bright green just adds another dimension in it, something a little bit unexpected. And I don't remember what I went off to do here. Oh, I went off to find my brown journaling pen. So I'm using my American Crafts .05 journaling pen in brown. So I'll just tell the little story of my grandson helping make the cookies. And when I journal, I usually journal to the person or people in the layout. So I'm talking to him in my journaling here about what he's doing. So I'm just about done with that. When I am finished, then the layout will be all done. I'll have a still shot and a couple of detail shots at the end of this. Hope you are all well, and I will be back with another layout soon. Bye!